Like
Guess what, y'all? Welcome back to bodybuilding. We're right here in the city of Spokane, Washington, man, where I caught up with this guy, or catching up with him, I should say. Well, I seen him a couple weeks ago, man. We're up in cold country, up in Anchorage, Alaska. Vince went to France, and I got to come back home to Seattle. But guess what? We're here in Spokane today, and we got Vince Taylor, man, one of the top bodybuilders of all time. This guy's won more Masters, Mr. Olympias, man, than I got fingers and toes. But I'm gonna let him tell you all about that. We're gonna catch up with Vince, see what's going on, and see how France treated him ever since I saw him in Alaska last time, a couple weeks ago. Hey, Vince, man, glad to have you back on board right here in the Pacific Northwest once again, man. Vince, tell me a little bit about your start in bodybuilding. Let's go from there. First of all, I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit later as we get to going along here how old Vince is, man. I think that's gonna surprise you a little bit. But go ahead, Vince.
I have bodybuilding, baby. It's just been one of my things. You know, I've been doing this game for a little while, and started back in the late 80s. You know, picked up the first weight and started actually competing around 27 years old. So late bloomer.
Late bloomer.
But we got some fire rockets behind me, so we had a great run so far.
Now, where'd you start lifting at, Vince? Was it here in America? Because I know you were in the service for a while.
Well, my brother. I just love the service. I kind of went and visited him on vacation.
Okay, so you weren't actually in the service?
No.
Okay, so you lived in Germany for a while?
14 years worth.
14 years in Germany?
14 years in Berlin.
You must have liked Germany, man.
It was incredible. You know, it was one of the best things I had done after getting out of high school. You know, no exhibitions to do anything else but try to make some fun happen.
Now, did you compete while you were in Germany?
I did. I started actually training in Germany, 1983 exactly. Went to an auditorium, saw this game taking place. It was a fellow American bodybuilder in Berlin that night, John Brown. Never forget it.
We all know John Brown,
oh,
man.
My gosh.
Oh, yeah.
So electrifying. And what he did to that stage, and I was watching. And it's a funny thing when you in Europe and you see another American over there, you kind of gravitate. And John and I were talking at the event. And John was like, Vince, watch my stuff for me. And we were just chit-chatting. You know, I speak German, you know, so he was talking and I was able to translate. And he was looking at me like, man, you got to try this. You know, let me take a look at you. You know, so I'm peeling off.
Man, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And for those of you bodybuilding aficionados who know who John Brown is, I'll tell you what, he's the guy who originally, and Vince is going to do a routine tonight, and he's done it for years now in the Olympia and everywhere else, and considered one of the greatest posers in all the world, where he does what we call a pop lock sort of, Vince, a little pop lock, a little robotic.
Less the rock, but a little pop.
A little bit of everything in there. Okay, so Vince, you gravitated from Germany. Now, what was the first show you won here in the United States? Okay,
I came over to do my aspiration was to be Mr. World.
Oh, okay.
Mr. World.
That was the title. Mr. Olympia was secondary at that time.
Wasn't even thought of.
Wow,
you know,
man,
Mr. World, Mr. Universe. John Brown had won a few of those titles, and it just sounds so incredible, Mr. World. And of course, I came over. I did a show in New Jersey, and that point it was just for the Mr. America. So I won my class in the weight class of Mr. America in '86.
Oh,
you know, so
man, look at you. Go ahead.
I am a Mr. America winner.
Yes. Go ahead on. That must have been a thrill in itself, man.
It truly was, T. Truly was.
Is that where you got your pro card?
You know, not knowing anything about bodybuilding, you know, because I'm in Europe. When I came over, people were saying, you need to do the MPC shows. Mr. America's AAU. And I'm like, okay, what is MPC?
Yeah.
So then I was able to go to Jersey again and compete in an open class show just to see if I can qualify for MPC. And Lord knows, it turned out to be that was a qualify for the Nationals, which I had no clue about. No clue about the Nationals.
You just went.
Just went.
And then now your first National, how'd you do, man?
Man, I came in 4th place.
Hey, 4th in the first National. No, I mean, that's pretty good, man. You got to admit.
It was incredible considering Sean Ray, J.J. Marsh at the time, Daryl Stafford, and these guys, you know, was it 4th or 5th? It might have been 5th.
Yeah.
So long ago, I don't remember. Okay. But it was truly amazing because the key to that whole thing is I had no idea who these competitors were. I had tore my bicep a year and a half earlier. So I had not trained for almost a year. And I came over to do the American show, Miss America, and fell into that, qualified, and then came back and did it. And came in, I think it was 5th, it might have been 4th, but it was enough to shock the world. You know, who is this guy from Germany?
I'll tell you right now, you guys know you're dealing with a bad boy if he can't even remember if he did 4th or 5th in all of the whole nation, so he has to be one of the best. I'm telling you ever. I mean, here's a guy who didn't know about Sean Ray, didn't know about the guys that we were talking about earlier, J.J. Marsh, and some of the greatest bodybuilders ever in American history.
So
and here a guy comes in and boom, 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 and you know, okay, yeah, let me go on to this show and just see what I can do. And to me, Vince, that's pretty funny, man. I mean, that says a lot about your character and how you just, hey, you train for Vince and let's go from